Mama's got some friends, an intergalactic yeti.
Hey, this is Greg. I'm going to give you guys a little behind the scenes tour here of Stonecoats. Hopefully this isn't going to end up being completely boring. This is, I don't know, weird. I've been getting a couple questions about some of the things that we've seen in the pitch vid, particularly the Yeti. Got a couple questions about, are we doing this in 3D? What's the deal with that? Yeah, you can actually see here's one of our characters, Chip. Now he's not quite done. He's still a work in progress. He still needs the actual fish on top and his other arm. But basically I'm just kind of making some modular rigs. At first I went really complex, so I kind of had to dial that back a couple notches. I'll just give his body here a little bit of spin. You'll actually see that some of it is 3D. Maybe if I just kind of punch out to the perspective window here, you can see it really kind of falls apart. Still got a little bit of work here to do, touching the arms and kind of getting that to work out properly. But so basically the plan is to shoot it with a longer lens, or just from the front camera so that there's no perspective distortion. But the reason why I've got a little bit of 3D in here is pushing my comfort zone, and I needed to go back to it. But that might change. I mean, might stay. We'll kind of see. It's still in the R&D phase of things. Again, you can kind of see here, just using kind of a simple IK system. So maybe I'll just kind of take you guys into maybe just kind of breaking down the arm, because the legs pretty much run the same way. Mouth is kind of based on the same ideas as well. So this is the arm I was throwing together for Chip. We've got a basic arm rig that's driving everything. Just a shoulder, elbow, arm type deal going on. And then on those guys we've got a couple of these different other groups, just kind of following things along. It's just a basic kind of parent constraint. So we'll just take a quick look here at the upper arm, since I've kind of got it exploded already. So here, if I just take a look here in the perspective window, you can see I've got a kind of sandwich going on here for the graphics anyway. So I've got three surfaces. They're just NURB surfaces. So I've got an inside, which is basically the same as the back, and then I've got an outline. So all of these guys are actually being driven by this curve. So I'm just using a project on curve, and I'm just tying it through all three of the surfaces, and then I just kind of went in, edited one of the surfaces, made it a little bit bigger. So basically what you can end up doing, or what the artist can do, is they can actually just kind of grab some of these controls and then tweak the shape, and the outline will kind of change with it. One of the ideas I was throwing around beforehand was just doing a graphic swap. I've seen some stuff like that before on Lester Banks. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the guy's name. He's got a nice little 2D rig, really cool. I've seen some stuff with Angry Birds. They're doing theirs in After Effects, but I went down that road a little bit. I'm more comfortable at least doing that kind of stuff in Maya. Basically the kind of idea is behind this thing is just so that the animators don't have to give us a whole bunch of different shapes for the arms. They can just kind of go and make them. The whole idea is to actually use Studio Library's Pose Manager, so that they can go in, make the kind of tweaks to the shapes, save them out, and then other artists or other animators can go back and kind of use that library. So again, this arm is just built so that we can do both right, left arms, and anything else that we need to do. So this is actually kind of built into the upper arm, lower arm, the shoulder, and there might be a little joint in there. I don't know what's kind of going on there with the character, but all of those guys are controlled here from the base arm. So it's underneath the tweaks here, so the artist can just turn that off if they don't want to see it. You can bend it left or bend it right, and all I'm doing to just kind of swap that guy is to use the twist on the IK. So if you see there, maybe you caught it, maybe you didn't, when I swap that guy to the other side, you can see the layer order changes, and again, that's just because I'm using that twist attribute to do my bend swap. Interesting thing that I had to kind of tackle earlier on was how to do foreshortening. Basically the artist has these little controllers here on the side to control the foreshortening. Just some little arrows. They're actually just tied in set-driven keys that go into the individual groups themselves. As I scale this, you'll notice that these guys stay circular, and they're all in that group that's being scaled. The reason why they're not being scaled is just I've got a multiply divide node that's in there, So just taking a quick look here in the outliner, you can see the blend shape is actually just going into two multiply and divide nodes. Basically this foreshortening maths, all that is that's just creating, I guess, the mathematics to just kind of scale them. I've got the forearm and the upper arm just jammed into that one foreshortening maths guy. And then I've got this other guy here called the control size fix. I'm just taking whatever the scale is, and I'm just dividing, or I'm having 1 being divided by that number. So that's basically just kind of canceling out the math that's on there and just kind of keeping those controls circular. So I don't know if I went too deep or not deep enough on that, but if you guys have any questions, just give me a tweet. Really like your vote. Just go to storyhive.com, scroll down, find Stonecoats, give us your votes.
Yeah, Luna's got some friends, an intergalactic yeti and a mutated fish. With them and Justin the Beaver.